Arjuna was, the greatest warrior. In Mahabharata, there is a story that before the war of Kurukshetra, there was another war in which the entire Kaurav army had come. And Arjuna single-handed, only one person, had defeated the whole army. That was a story. Because Arjuna was in disguise at that time. He had disguised as a eunuch or something like that. Brihanala or some name he had. What was his name? Brihanala. I remember. He was dressed as a eunuch to hide himself. For 14 years they had to hide themselves. So he had gone to another kingdom, and that kingdom was attacked by the Kaurav. And the prince of that kingdom went to fight, and Arjuna was his charioteer. And then Arjuna says, you sit down, I'll fight with them. And single-handedly he defeated the whole army. So that was his strength. And in the Mahabharata war, of course, the war of Kurukshetra, Arjuna was the hero. Almost like Shah Rukh Khan at that time. See, single-handedly he could defeat a lot of people. So in the end of the Bhagavad Gita, the last stanza is very interesting. It says, Yatra Yogeshwara Krishno Yatra Partho Dhanurdaraha Yatra Shri Vijayor Bhutir Dhruva Nitir Matir Mamaha. It means that as long as the human being, which is Arjuna, is guided by the universal power or God, as long as he is acting in accordance with universe, not in accordance with his ego, but in accordance with what universe wants him to do. If you align yourself with the universe, when you become a flute and God is playing it through you, you cannot go wrong. You are not playing yourself. That's what it means. Yatra Yogeshwara Krishno, till Krishna is there, Yatra Partho Dhanurdaraha, until Arjuna is there under his guidance. Krishna means universal force. Arjuna means human being. As long as human being gives way to universal force, so only success is possible. Tatra Shri Vijayor Bhutir. Vijay, only possible. This is the last stanza of Bhagavad Gita. But the story should have ended there, no? How after Shah Rukh Khan kills all the villains, story finishes normally and you go home, right? But the author of Mahabharata takes the story further. And the story extends that after the whole war happened, Pandavas are victorious, everything nice. It's like one of our serials, no? Maybe the episode didn't finish, so they had to extend it thoda sa. So in that story, Krishna calls Arjuna one day and he says, now my time also to go. I am also going to die very soon. Krishna knows, he knows everything. So after I die, you do me one favor. You take all these gopis. Gopis are there, no? Krishna has many gopis. Little bit like Salman Khan. Krishna was similar. So he says, take all these gopis and take them home safely. Arjuna says, okay, I'm sorry that you're going to die, I feel, but anyway, if it is your will, so definitely. So Krishna dies and Arjuna goes and he collects all the gopis and says, Chalo, I'll take you home. But when he's going on the way, the tribal people are there, Bhil tribe. They stop him. They say, you give us the gopis. Arjuna says, are you crazy? Do you know who I am? I single-handedly defeated the entire army. So don't wag your tail in front of me. Better you leave before it's too late. Bhil people said, nothing doing. We want the gopis, we are taking them. And Arjuna, then he lifts his bow and arrow. You know what's his bow called? Gandiv, I think, no? Gandiv. And his takes out an arrow. But his hands are trembling and the arrow doesn't go anywhere, it falls at his own feet. And all the gopis are all gone with the Bhils and he can't do anything, he's just standing helpless. And Mahabharata finishes there. Strange, no? Can you imagine a Hindi movie finishing like that? So, it would be a flop, no? Suppose in the end Shah Rukh Khan is just standing there and all the villains have taken away the girlfriend. It will be flop, no, the movie? I think so. So why did this author of the Mahabharata flop this show? Put Arjun on the top and in the end put him right at the bottom. Then one poet wrote, समय समय की बात है, समय बड़ा बलवान, भीलन उठाई गोपियाँ, वही अर्जुन वही बान. Same Arjun, but he couldn't do anything. समय बड़ा बलवान. Time is superior to all of us. So what does it mean really? I had no idea. So I went that time, there was one seminar in Pondicherry. I was asked to inaugurate a homeopathic center there called Quiet with a seminar. I went there and 2 days before I went, I lost my voice totally. I had severe attack of laryngitis, very painful. I couldn't even whisper. How to give a seminar? That time in Pondicherry, and still there is, one lady called Maggie. You have heard of Sri Aurobindo? Sri Aurobindo had a successor called the Mother. You heard? The Mother. Now, Maggie was the secretary to the Mother. She is a French lady, very old now. She must be in her 80s. And she has translated the Gita and Mahabharata into English and into French. So I visited her. She is also a homeopath. And she knows me. We know each other very well. I visited her house. And I wrote a question to her. I said, Maggie, why in your understanding did the author end the story like this? Because that was my question also. At that point, I was also standing without speech, you see. Just like Arjuna was there without his bow and arrow. My bow and arrow are my words, no? Without that, no work is possible, neither seeing patients nor telling you stories. So she wrote me, she said, I will explain my understanding of this situation. She said Krishna was a know-all. He knew everything. Sarva Jnani. Isn't it so? Antaryani, and Trikala Jnani means he knows past, present. Let us assume, it's our theory. So if he has created this situation for Arjuna, it must have a purpose because he does everything. उसने ही किया होगा ये सब नाटक. Why he did this? Then she said that Arjuna was very much identified with his role as a big warrior. No? I am warrior, I can defeat the army, I am a great archer, the greatest archer. So Arjuna, without being archer, without being warrior, what was he? Arjuna had no chance to find out unless it was taken away from him. So Krishna engineered that Arjuna would lose his capability and his role. So now he is left without a role. He is no longer warrior. So he has only two choices. Either to go into depression, isn't it? Take homeopathy or whatever it may be at that time. I don't know if there were homeopaths then, but maybe Hanuman. Same like Hanuman. Hanuman found homeopathy, Hanuman got Sanjeevani booty. It's the same thing. So Hanuman, he could have consulted Hanuman at that time. But the other choice he had was to discover who he really was without the role. And that's what is the challenge for all of us. To discover our true self. Because the role that we play is like a character in a movie or a drama. That is not us. That is the role we chose. Who made me homeopath? Myself. Who made me lecturer? Me. I took it so seriously, I think I am a lecturer. Banaya kaun? So this is something we tell ourselves. I am so and I have to do so and I am good at so and so, not good at so and so. I am a great so and so, not great so and so. But stripped of this identity that we have created for ourselves, what is our true nature? Who are we really? Arjuna had a chance to find out only when he lost his capability, not otherwise. That's what she explained to me. Of course, she didn't give me the answer who Arjuna was. That is something we each have to find out. Who is Salman Khan when he goes home? On the screen, he is a great, no? Whatever he is. Who is Shah Rukh when he goes home? Who is Amitabh Bachchan when he goes home? Amitabh Bachchan plays 100 roles. But when he goes home, who is his real self? Not those roles. We take our role to be ourselves. It's not. So, that's the story. And I liked this explanation a lot, and it went very deep into me. And then she played a harp. You know, there's an instrument called harp. It's like a doi, doi, doi. Normally they play it in heaven, you know it. If you see Christian things, harp is usually played in heaven. So anyway, she played that for me. And the next day was my seminar. I could get a little voice back, and by afternoon I was speaking, by evening I was singing. Because I felt as if the burden of my role was taken away. I didn't have to be that. And I feel that almost all the time, even now. I'm doing it because this is my ticket to be on the earth. But I'm not attached to it. You follow? I'll continue to do it because there's nothing better to do. Honestly. कुछ तो करना है. How can I spend my time? सुबह उठेगा तो the whole day is there. I can eat only 3 times. बाकी समय करूँगा क्या? So we all have to find a role, but we shouldn't get attached to that role. And we should always be aware of our role-less pure self. That is the idea of the story of Arjuna. How to get what? Huh? How to get out of the role? That Krishna never told. In fact, he told actually, he told 3 ways, 3 paths. Krishna suggested there is a path of karma, which means selfless action. Don't think I am doing. Think it is being done through me. So there's a stanza in Gita like that. Anashritah karma phalam karyam karma karoti yah sa sannyasi cha yogi. The man who does his action without the desire for the fruit of the action for himself, he is a yogi. So see that how a tree gives fruit without thinking I am giving fruit, I am giving fruit, I am giving fruit, look at me, look at me. He naturally gives. This is one way. The second way he has advocated in Gita is called Gyan Marg, which means inquiry. All thoughts, all feelings come from I. I think, I feel, I want, I don't want, I like, I dislike. Who is this I? Who is this I who likes, dislikes, wants, don't want? So if you inquire, in Sanskrit it is called koham. Who am I? Ko aham. The answer is soham, but we can't understand that at the moment. So means that I am. I am not this. I am that. But what is that? Only your experience will tell you. So to understand the nature of the self. And the third is known as bhakti. Bhakti means to surrender. Means in all the 3 ways, when you abolish your ego, either by surrendering, by asking, or by doing unselfishly, by these 3 ways, you get detached from your ego. And ego is the one that creates what they call maya of the role. This is me, this is my role, this is whatever. When the ego is gone, you are detached automatically. That's what he said. I mean, I have no idea about it. But it's a possible solution. But I think what is important is the beginning of the inquiry. Just the idea, without all this, who are you? Just the question, if it comes.